left off last week is Siman Shinchav Aleph Siv Zayin. Now we're getting into Dinei Teichen. Before we did Melicha, the next couple of Sifin are Hilchas Teichen. So Mutter Laduch Pilpulin, you're allowed to grind. Laduch means to grind, or to smash them. Pilpul and Fila Haba Yachim, a lot of pilpul together. You have to do with the back of with the handle of the knife, or b'kaira, and on a plate. So what's going on over here? It says the Magen Avram, or b'kaira pirish la b'kaira sheiducha meshulei kaira, tavashinu gomer. Oy b'kaira, or by a kaira sheiducha meshulei kaira, tavashinu gomer. Can't really pirish rama. So the Magen Avram learns that one shinui is enough, either with the back of the knife or on a plate. Ravashini Gomer can nearly perish Rambam the Ein Lemon in Shrei Shinuyim. Don't say that you have to have two Shinuyim. Kasha the Gemara La Hisker Al Chad Shinui the Hainu Besakim. Kind of Betesefto I Besefto Shemal Gemashim the Chaytka Besakim Aser who had did the Chol Tav. So the Magen Avram says over here, all you need is one shinui in order to grind it up. Ladoch, it's mutter with one shinui. Mishbur argues in the Magen Avram. If you look in the Mishbur Sivkot Chav Hey, he brings that from the Taz. The Taz also argues. And the Taz holds they have to have two shinuyim. If you look in the Meshubur Sivkot Chafei, V'kaira Pirish, Avalayaduch B'katash Sakina, don't grind it with the back of the knife, with the handle of the knife, B'machteshes. After Shinu B'mashadoch B'katash Sakina, it's not enough. Chemokim Machteshes, Machzik Uvda the Chav Hodin, the Doch B'kata, Agabi Shulchan. If you use the knife on a table, a b'shulei kli, agabi shulchan, have a shrei shinui, that is enough. Says so that's the avuchna miuchedes l'chtisha full agabi shulchan, abitecha kaira os. So the Mishnah Berurah basically holds you have to have two shinuyim in order to do a toichin on Shabbos. You have to have two shinuyim. We know that stamazeh by all malacha Shabbos, a shinui is not a heter. A shinui may make it into a din d'Rabbanan, but it's still awesome in d'Rabbanan. So why over here does a shinui work? So they say here it's a double shinui. It's a big shinui. That's why it's mutter. That's why Mishnah Berurah holds you have to have kata de sakina, the handle of the knife, and b'kaira, not b'machteshes. Machteshes is the mortar, you know? What's it called again?
Yes, I think.
It's like a grinder. It's like
the mortar, I think. Yeah. So yeah. So you can't. Differently, you have to have a big shinui in order to do teichen. I will see as we go through the sifin, if something that's darker, you do teichen with it, that's not a shinui. Even though it's not a mortar and a pestle, still it's aser because it's darker to do shinui to do teichen with that.
So if something doesn't use a machteshes, is that automatically one shinui, or only if it would?
Machteshes al shulchan, yes, one shinui. B'kaira is one shinui.
Right, but let's say it's something that you don't use a machteshes in a kara, you don't use it. In other words, it's not that you're going to use it. You're going to make a salad. You don't take a machteshes. So is that already one het? Is that already one shinui?
Could be it's one shinui, yes. Because they have to know. That's the whole shaila here. What's called teichen? I'm taking vegetables and I'm cutting them up. That's called teichen. Why is that teichen? Teichen means you're grinding something. Right. You're taking something, grinding, you're making it into very small pieces. Cutting something up to eat it, we'll see later on, that's so simple as teichen b'chal.
Correct.
So I'm cutting it up. What? So you're cutting it up in the plate. You know why you usually cut it in a plate? Because usually you don't do teichen.
Right.
Because you're just cutting it up, slicing it.
I'm not sure about these two shinuyim. The two shinuyim applies only in a case where
it's a teichen mamish.
When you're doing teichen.
Yes,
right? So
two shinuyim means teichen mamish. That's why there's a teirim, we'll see later on, as we get to other sifin, there's a teirim today when people go ahead and they cut up vegetables, let's say, it's not called teichen. Cutting up for a salad is not the issue of teichen. Grinding, smashing cooked things, that may be worse. Carrots or potatoes or bananas, that may be worse, because that's really teichen.
Smashing.
Avocados.
So let's use the avocado or the banana where I don't use a machteshes.
Usually.
Right.
Yeah,
so in other words, where's my second shinui?
Yeah, you have to have a good shinui. You have to have a very good shinui.
But you only have one.
If
I use the end of if I use the opposite side of,
right.
of the fork.
Who said it's mutter then? Who said it's mutter to use the opposite side of the first opposite? What mean opposite side of the fork? The handle?
The handle.
Yeah.
Who said it's mutter?
Who says it's mutter?
Who said it's mutter to do it? It's also.
So what would be the second
I don't know, upside down plate. I don't know.
You're talking about grinding bananas specifically, or avocados?
Yeah, those type of things.
Is that really grinding though? Like you're just smashing it?
That's smashing is called teichen.
Yeah.
It's also like it's most Achron come out that smashing an avocado and a banana is called teichen. So that's much worse than cutting salad into small pieces. Cutting salad into small pieces is not really called teichen.
Well, what's the definition of dak? That's the question.
Yeah, what's the definition of dak? Yeah.
So banana, avocado, and egg are three things that are.
No, egg is not a problem.
No, because egg is
not to do with karka.
Egg is not in the parsha.
Egg is not to do with bananas and dates and these type of things that you smash. That's called teichen.
So the handle of the you're saying
won't be enough. Won't be enough for it.
So is there some
plate? Outside plate.
Very schwach.
Really?
Very schwach has to smash any of these things.
One is a solid unit, and one is
the heter that some people give is that's not really called teichen b'chlal, because what you're doing is changing the form. You know, it's together, it's still together, you're changing the form.
I told you to cut it up or something.
Cutting up is okay. Cutting it up is okay. But there's a lot of riots that smashing something, there's a lot of riots in the Gemara, smashing something is called teichen.
But dafka for, let's say, feeding a baby, right?
You're feeding a baby, so that's how they want to give a term feeding a baby. You do it with the back of a spoon, not the back of a fork, and usually you're not teichen it that way, so then it's mutter.
But the counter argument to that is, we learned in there for Shabbos that dafka for a baby or an older person, because they cannot eat it.
It's worse.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll say later on. It's worse.
It's
even worse.
Bigger problem.
Yeah.
But that's talking about dak.
Dak means to take a carrot and smashing is dak.
A carrot, right, but not a banana.
I know so. Smashing a banana.
No, because a banana might be a problem, as we said, you're getting closer to teichen. So that might be a problem. Let's say you're going to make now small vegetables, right? So you're going to make a salad. So it might be a problem to make them very, very small for a baby or an elderly person.
Or can eat it. Yeah, we get that, yeah. Make something small which is not edible till now, and now it's edible, that's even worse. Yeah, we'll see soon about that, yeah. It's a different problem.
Is teichen also, is grating also?
Yeah, grating is teichen, yes, for sure.
Banana and avocado.
Yeah, grating is a... Yeah, banana and avocado is hard to find heter. You use heter for it?
No.
It's hard to find heter for it.
No.
Very hard to find heter for it.
But it's based on this idea that you need two shinuyim.
They need two shinuyim, yeah.
The truth is, there's many. The Rashba says that you can by chila, right?
Yeah.
This shita that don't necessarily might be pasta like, but that any token that's done.
I'll get to some like it, but that's heter for all teichen. We don't go with that heter. If you go with that heter, that samach achila teichen is mutter, like boiler is mutter. So nachnami. Anything you do, samach achila is mutter.
Right,
so we're trying to just understand: is tochen and boiler the same? Do they have parallel halachas?
That's a shaila. That's a question. Pashas not.
Because
right.
It seems like miyad and biyad takes you out of the problems of borer.
Right.
But miyad and biyad doesn't take you out of the problems.
Correct. That's a shaila. The Rashba says it is.
Sorry?
The Rashba says that they are the same.
Right.
Same time you have a boiler, you have by teichen.
Right.
Ma'aseh we don't pass on that. We see the B'cham brings it down.
Right. So we're saying that token and borer are different in that token has more stringency.
Right. There's no heter of miyad or biyad. Borer is a heter. Derech achila is mutter. By Teichin, we don't find heter derech achila as mutter, according to most Rishonim.
Unless you say that there's a difference between toichen, which is really toichen, let's say bananas, versus cutting something which may not be toichen.
Yeah, if it's not Teichin, then it's not heter. It's not
Cutting
Teichin.
vegetables, although we lumped it together with under toichen, but cutting a vegetable, you can see is a different.
It's not really Teichin, yeah.
Because
That's also a shadow. We'll see soon. You're cutting a vegetable, dak. Some Achronim want to hold it's called Teichin.
Right.
Cutting a dak. Very small. The question what dak means. The question what dak means.
small pieces, the vegetable is still.
We'll see soon.
As a vegetable.
Right.
You don't have to make yourself crazy when you make salads. Most people today, when they're cutting up salads, they don't cut it up dak. They don't cut small pieces.
So an Israeli salad would not be a dak.
Israeli salad is also a vague term. It's also, it depends how small it is. And the klal I always give is if you're using an alligator to cut it, don't do it. They're called alligators, know what they're called? I think it's called alligators. Things that you put the vegetable in, and you push something down, and it's like flies both ways. What's it called? It's called alligator.
We'll go to the alligator.
Yeah.
No good.
And that you shouldn't use. Because that cuts it small, and it's a clear miyuchad l'kach, so then you run into issues. But otherwise, cutting up a salad, you have to be semidark exactly how big the pieces are.
But making an avocado spread with mayonnaise or something.
That's a bigger part, much bigger part.
You should do it before Shabbos.
100%. Or use a knife and cut it. Don't smash it. But as much doesn't come out as good. Yes, avocado dips to make them on Shabbos is a hard thing. Eggplant things, all those things to make them on Shabbos is hard. Very good. Same thing at first. You're mixing it and you're being teichen. Okay, then. Okay, let's see weiter. Van dat Seif Zayin. Seif Ches. Ein chaytz in melech b'modach shel eitz. Now that crush salt b'modach shel eitz with a crusher of wood, of a merasek hu b'yad shel sakin, u'beitz a par ve'in a crusher, that's a shinui, to cut it, to smash salt away. Hagav dafke melech hagas, which is salt that was never ground up yet. Av a melech shel dak m'tchila v'nispashel v'nasa petitin, mutter l'chadchan v'sakin k'moy shechaytech m'pas. It's mutter to cut it up because ain't teichen achar teichen, and once it was already ground, and now you're grinding it again, it's not called teichen. We'll see more about ain't teichen achar teichen soon. Seif Tes. Mutter lachtech basar mevushel atzli dak v'sakin. You're allowed to cut meat. Meat, you're allowed to cut as small as you want. Meat is not gedulei karka, and therefore you're allowed to cut it as small pieces as you want. You've seen the Taz speaks it out. Basar mevushel. Zeh ein gedulei karka ve'ein b'minay tchina. It's not called gedulei karka. It's not called teichen. If you cut up meat as small as you want. Same thing will be with eggs. Eggs are allowed to cut up. There's no problem making egg salad on Shabbos because eggs is not going to do the karka. You can smash it as much as you want.
So you can grind meat?
You can grind meat. Yeah, not with a grinder, but see soon.
Why must it be cooked?
Huh?
Why must it be cooked?
Because we'll see soon. If it's not cooked, then it's not edible. If it's not edible, only with cutting it up, then already you're not allowed to cut it up. Now let's see. Hagav will also lachtach dak basar chai fnei oifais. Hoyev ein yichayim l'achle b'lei chituch chamash b'lei oichel. Now you're making it into an oichel and it's aser. So the whole shaila here, what this chamash b'lei oichel is. Does it now become a mitzvah teichen or not? Pashas you learn that it's not shayich teichen by gedulei karka. Something that's not gedulei karka. So meat, the chayra, is not shaykh to become a mitzvah teichen. Here, the Rama says you're not allowed to cut the small pieces. The kamash v'lei oichel. Maybe that's its own issue. It's a new issue. You're not allowed to make it raw to eat it. Till now it wasn't a food, and now you're making it into a food. But the Magen Avraham is mashma to teichen the case. Let's see the Magen Avraham mutar lachtach This thing about the basar mevushal, the tesis about rosh chasod ain't tchina b'oichlem, v'afsha katzas shektzas svila the tchina rosh chasod v'beis, dafka b'gedula karka. A basar the ain't gedula min aretz, like shaykh by tchina. Some that's not, it doesn't grow from the ground. It's not shaykh tchina, but dafka tzli. The boy ochalei shalem v'loya say bein shinov. That's why there's no iser. Even though you yourself can't eat it the way it is, you want to cut it up into pieces, it's not called toichen because you go after roiv of the world. If a roiv of the world, it is edible. Since you only chew it, not the way you usually eat it. Also, the though it's good for dogs, it's not meant for that. Therefore, you're not allowed to be matter to cut it into small pieces.
But the Ramah's whole halacha is with ne'oifos. So what does it got to do with people?
Because people didn't eat it then. People didn't eat it raw. So you cut it small, you gave it to the birds.
Right, so I'm saying if the halacha is going only on oifos, so for people, as long as it's not gidula karka, it doesn't matter whether it's raw or cooked or sli or whatever. It shouldn't make a difference. The Ramah is only talking about with ne'oifos.
That's because that was a derech. They didn't cut to give it to people. If they would cut to give it to people, it would be the same problem. It can't be eaten raw. It can't be eaten raw in one piece. You have to cut it up. Now, if people will eat it after you cut it up in small pieces, then the Ramah would say, you're not allowed to cut it up to give it to people. But they didn't usually cut it up to give it to people. They usually cut it up to give it to Eifus.
So we're extrapolating.
But about if you're cutting it up to give it to a person, it's the same mitzvah. But it wasn't a derech to cut it up to give it to people.
What if you would normally eat it raw, as in steak tartare, cut up in small pieces?
If you would.
Yeah.
But you can only eat it cut up in small pieces. You can't eat it in one piece.
No,
That'll be
steak
awesome.
tartare is small pieces of meat with spices and egg.
And you can't eat it. You can't eat it. It's raw.
Yeah.
You can't eat it, and you can't eat it when it's one piece.
Well, you can't eat a big piece. You take a piece of meat and you slice it up.
No, I'm saying you can't chew it. That's the
No, but
difference.
it's prepared that way, right? Isn't it prepared where it's kind of ground up, right? Like
Where
Well,
is it prepared that way?
No, but you can grind up, but you can also eat it in very small pieces. So my question is that an isser?
You're not allowed to eat it, but you're not allowed to make it.
Why
You're not allowed to
not?
make it to a small piece because if you can't eat it in a big piece, only in small pieces, then you're not allowed to make it into small pieces. Now, if that thing, let's say the way the piece of meat is, a regular piece of meat, a cooked piece of meat, right? You don't need it to be small pieces, you can chew it. You cut it to a size that fits into your mouth and you chew it. These things, if you cut it to a size that fits into your mouth, could you chew it?
Yeah.
You could chew it.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's mutter.
Well, that was my question.
No, if you could chew it the way it is, then it's fine. We're talking about over here that it was something you can't chew. You put it in your mouth, you can't chew. It's very hard to chew it. So you cut it into small pieces so you can eat it and swallow it whole in the piece that it's cut. You don't have to chew it. Then you're not allowed to cut it from a bigger piece to a smaller piece. But something you could chew, and it's good to cut it up into small pieces. That's the difference. Something that if you cut into a piece that fits into your mouth, it's chewable, then you're allowed to cut it up into smaller pieces. But something that if you cut into a piece that fits into your mouth, you cannot eat it because it's too big and you can't chew it. The only way to eat it is to cut it into small pieces and swallow the small pieces whole. That already you can do. That's called kamash v'lei ochel. Yeah, you can't eat anything that's big. Anything that's big doesn't fit into your mouth, you can't eat. It's not called mashri oichel that you're cutting up the piece that fits into your mouth. It's not called mashri oichel. Mashri oichel means you cannot chew it. Okay. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah Seif Cotton Lamed Daled, Chamash B'lei Ochla, says V'yesh Makilim B'zeh. Some people are makel, even though they're making it an oichel, it's mutter to do it on Shabbos. V'ai in the Kamot, so Mishnah Chav Daled Seif Zayin behind the Shom Mevuyin, Teshivi Ochla Shari B'Shabbos, Umayri B'She'ein Chaytech Dak Dak. You're allowed to make it an oichel on Shabbos, only if you don't cut it into very, very small pieces. So here you have a heter, the Shabbos brings down a heter, that if you're not cutting it into very small pieces, even though you can't eat it the way it is, it's still mutter to do it on Shabbos. Okay. Fine. Ooh, sorry, water. Paper. There's something. Nothing clean. Okay, yes. Sorry. Okay, stop it. That's enough.
One comes prepared. It's pretty good.
They can't do it on Shabbos.
There you go.
Let's do it Sunday morning.
Okay.
That was a test.
Wait.
Okay, Seif Yud. Also, Ligra Hagvino, cheese, B'Shabbos, B'Moyer Choretz, Bal B'Fiyah Shekoyin Ralyu. You're not allowed to grind cheese. Cheese is also not Gedulei Karka, so there's no Isser Teichen on cheese. So you're allowed to cut cheese into small pieces, but you're not allowed to use a Moyer Choretz, which is called a ribeye,
Grater.
a grater. Why? Because a grater is already a kli hamiyuchid for
grinding.
teichen.
Right.
So that's a whole different issue. The whole different issue. This is over the chayil. It looks like it. It's not an issue teichen in itself because it cannot have teichen on cheese. So this over here is over the chayil. The same reason why you're not going to use a peeler for something that's not an issue butter. For example, you want to peel an apple on Shabbos. So you're allowed to peel an apple. You're not using a knife to peel the apple, but to use a peeler is also. Because over the chayil, it's a kli hamiyuchid l'kach, and now we use it.
If you take a peeler and you say, I'm only using this for Shabbos,
Doesn't make a difference.
doesn't make a difference?
What the light? What are you using it for Shabbos? The Shabbos peeler?
Yeah.
No. What's his name?
And
A peeler is a kli hamiyuchid l'kach.
and
What kind of, an apple peeler? What are we talking
Any
about?
peeler.
apple peeler.
What do you mean apple peeler?
You know how you can buy those things with to peel an apple?
Like carrots.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking a slicer, an apple slicer?
That's nice.
An
Yeah.
apple peeler, like
Peeler,
a potato
yeah.
peeler, like your father
But is
said.
that the same thing as an apple slicer?
No, so it's an apple slicer.
Take an apple, you put it into this thing here, and it cuts. You push it down, and then out comes 8 pieces
Oh,
of
that's
apple.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
You make such.
That's fine. That's not teichen because you're not doing it in small pieces.
So why can't you use a peeler?
Because peel's kli hamiyuchid l'bayim.
But you can use it to decorate.
Use what to decorate?
I don't know.
We said here. Are we talking the same thing here? Like you could, chocolate. Can you take the?
No, you're thinking,
That's
no,
something
no,
else.
no. An apple peeler is a thin little thing, it's got a
No, yeah,
slit
no,
in
it's
the
the same
middle,
thing.
and you use it to either peel potatoes or apples.
No, I know what you're talking. Using the peeler to make chocolate little.
Shavings.
Yeah.
Shavings.
Shavings.
Yeah.
That's something else. That's mutter.
That you could do.
That's not butter. You're not doing butter. You're not using it for butter. You're using it for something else.
But an apple
Here,
peeler,
peeling is butter. There's a heter to peel the apple,
yeah.
but a kli hamiyuchid l'kach is also. You're not allowed to use a kli that's meant for butter.
Right. Okay. I thought I heard that you can't use this thing.
You can't use it to peel an apple.
You could right.
You cannot use it to
butter
peel an apple.
problem, but you can use it for let's
Something
say, to
else.
make slivers of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it's muktzah
I
maybe.
not even like a carrot. You take it. You want to make some because there's no butter in that. You know.
I mean, you cut the carrot in small pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Shaving.
What about peeling
You're
the
Shaving
carrot?
carrot.
shaving the carrot.
yeah. If you're not peeling, you're not taking away oichel mutar so it's not chanami.
There's
But
no
it is a
butter,
peeler.
right? It's not
You
a
don't butter.
muktzah thing
Right,
because you
right,
can...
it's not butter. Right, not chanami.
But you use a
That's what I'm saying,
peeler
right?
to
It's not-
shave
doesn't become
Yeah.
muktzah.
a carrot.
Okay, that's
Is
fine. That should be
usher
fine.
or-
Well, that should be fine. That should be fine, yeah.
So the only thing it's only if it's psolit, that's the issue.
Right, right.
So if
Separate
you-
yourself
So
from
once the carrot is, or let's say you're eating the whole carrot, you're not
Yeah,
concerned.
you washed it off and you're not worried about it, yeah, it's
Then
fine.
You shouldn't be.
That's fine, that should be fine, yeah.
Yeah, it gets into the other issue.
Right.
People eat apples with the peel,
Is the apple
and
peeled
you're leaving some of the apple in the peel. You can't get it.
No.
No?
I got the Rebbe's eye roll. So.
I don't think you had to for that.
Well, certainly a potato, for example, you couldn't say that, right? There's not, you don't have to say.
Anyway, potatoes muktzah on Shabbos as it is. You can't do anything with a raw potato.
We have that.
Okay, you're right, so, yeah.
Yeah, potatoes muktzah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess
Raw
you have
potatoes
to-
are
you
muktzah.
have to-
Oh, Yom Tov, yeah, Yom Tov, yes.
So you have to,
But there's a knife.
so you have to, still you have to, you wouldn't use a
Use
potato.
a knife, yeah. You should not use a potato
use
peeler.
a-
Even though on Yom Tov maybe more kal to use a potato peeler. This butter may be mutter on Yom Tov. Or is one of the malachas which is mutter, Seif HaNefesh. So machlokes about that. So maybe on Yom Tov you can make on use a potato peeler. Okay, Yud Beis, the morning of Ram Shekhain Ralyu. Lashras has ribeyes in the kibbutz akli miyuchel kach have geschickes tavlen the machteshes the aser. Wenn wir viel lechem miyad aser v'nele do the mikli kotem oi the aser kazeh aser da kapanem klihu et a kli miyuchel kach aval muter lechoytche besaken dak dak mashkash siftes near the filu koshem oi shari kivin the boy lo yaser mikoishi. They're saying the cheese, if it's possible to eat it, even though it's harder to eat it. But people eat it when it's hard, because it's possible to chew it. Therefore, it's mutter, more than the mutter lachatcha b'kordes or b'magera, afish a kosher k'tzas nizipere g'zayim mishnah. So Bekitza, he says over here that it's mutter to do it if you're not using a ribeye, even though it's hard to eat. But since it's edible, it's not called kamash v'lei uchla like we had before in the meat. This is edible and it's not called mashva oichel. So the Mishnah Berurah puts in a few words over here, which I think the Magen Avraham doesn't put in. Yeah, he puts in two words over in the Mishnah Berurah. It's Seif Lamed Vav. The Lashon Ashkenaz has ribeyes in the kivin shakli miyuchid lakach. Harei zed derech choil. The Magen Avraham didn't put his words in. It's derech choil, and that's the issur. The dam l'shchik l'stavle b'machteshes v'hu adam mikli acher hamiyuchid lekach. V'im ken afil lecha miyad also. So you're not going to use something that's set aside for it. And if you want to use a grater to grate cheese, you're not going to do that on Shabbos.
Als tochen.
Out of the chayil.
Als of the tochen.
Because there's no tochen about cheese. You like cut up cheese in small pieces. So but you're not going to use a grater for that. So it's two different halachas. One halacha is the tochen itself, and one halacha is of the chayil. Seif Aleph. Mutter lahashkos es atolush kedei shelo yichmosh. You're allowed to pour water on something that's not attached to the ground, in order that it shouldn't get ruined. It shouldn't
like flowers.
shrivel.
Like flowers, you can put water in the vase.
You know what?
Water in a vase.
That's a psak?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you if it's okay because that's what it means.
I was wondering if that was a psak.
See?
It's good.
No, but is it okay?
The question of putting water to flowers. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
But here it says you're allowed to pour water on vegetables that they shouldn't get, so the ichmosh, they shouldn't get shriveled. Says the Magen Avraham, with lahashkas kimin di yirakas alal ruyim lachila, since the vegetables are edible, the yeman Mutter lahashkoisa gederach shemutter l'taltalan. You're allowed to put water on them.
Okay, thank you, go ahead.
So it's not royal achila. You're not allowed to pour water on it. Why? Because you're saving it, and that's something you're doing not for Shabbos.
Okay.
That's a tircha, not for Shabbos.
Why is this here under Techina?
Why is this here under Tchina? No, we have a teretz?
No, I don't have a question.
We have a psak.
I don't know.
I mean, unless you're equating shriveling to dak dak.
No. How's it falling over here? Not sure.
Yeah.
They do not have a special Seif for that, so they put it here.
I'm not sure how it falls over here. And it's smack in the middle.
Yeah, like-
60 base continues with Teichen.
I'm mechatech.
You know.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Good question. Don't know. If you look in the Baruch Lichtenstein Lamed Zayin, it's Atalosh, Haimi Yerokas Lushin, Vatam Kimin Dem Ruim Lachila B'Yayimam, since you can eat it on Shabbos, Mutla Hashkoisan, you'll have to put water onto it, Mashenki V'Davish Ene Roi, Lachila also Tzorech B'Shvilam. Something that's not Roi, you're not allowed to do a tircha for them. If you're pouring water to mechuber, is an iser toirach. L'cheres an isvei boisim, or l'cheres has in it leaves of a psamim that smell. The bayis gamken also hashkes and Shabbos. You're not allowed to pour water into them on Shabbos. So here he's talking about something that has dirt in it. If you have dirt in it, you're not allowed to pour water into it on Shabbos. Anything that's attached to any type of earth, it's also to pour water into it on Shabbos. The question is, cut flowers. If you're allowed to pour water into it. So cut flowers, l'chayr, have the same din as vegetables.
Like by the lulav.
Well,
But they're not for eating.
the lulav, yeah. Right, the lulav you have to put back into water.
But they're not eatable.
So,
You just said that it's not, if it's not
no,
eatable,
because you can't use it, but here you're using it. What are flowers meant for? To look nice.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, so why are you pouring water into it? That should stay nice. And you're using it on Shabbos.
So my psak was okay in the beginning.
So the chayra, if same way you're allowed to pour water onto vegetables, they shouldn't get ruined. You should be able to pour water onto cut flowers, they shouldn't get ruined. The Maisa, there are some places that are machmer on that, not to put water onto flowers. It's hard to know why exactly the machmer. But the chayra, if somebody has flowers and water, you're allowed to add water to it, and if it gets knocked over, let's say,
Can you change the water?
you shouldn't change the water on Shabbos. I wouldn't say you should change the water on Shabbos, but if it gets knocked over and you pick it up, there's still a drop of water left inside, you can also add water to fill it up. That shouldn't get ruined.
And
It's
they
all.
don't have a din of muktzah either, right? They're cut-
No, flowers are not muktzah. Cut flowers are not muktzah. Cut flowers are not.
Why
What?
would they be considered muktzah?
Why, yeah?
They're useless, I mean...
Where they're useless.
They're beautiful. You just said
Tell it to your wife.
That's not what my wife said, all I...
Yeah.
That's...
No, that's its use. Its use is no. No?
Right.
Yeah. No, so it's like people make. Cut flowers is not muktzah. Not taken off
Tell
the
your
table.
wife that it's muktzah. Let's see what happens.
If it's a vase, if it's a flower pot, plant, that's a much bigger problem.
Right.
That's a much bigger problem. Nothing to do with muktzah. That's to do with yinika. It's getting from the ground. You're taking it away from its yinika. A plant is a whole different child. A plant is, a lot of plants are very machmer plant, even in a house where it's hard to say it gets yinika from the ground. They're machmer.
Slide it along the same floor.
Also, that's a pashut. Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
others said it.
Then you slide it. If you pick it up, something else.
Not to pick it up.
Yeah.
Just slide it.
Yeah.
across.
Then it's more cal because you're not giving it any more yinika.
You're not changing the...
Yeah, you're not changing the yinika. But cut flowers, It's not muktzah. You're allowed to move cut flowers from a table on Shabbos.
I just want to be clear on this because I thought you had originally said that vegetables fine because you're eating them, they're edible, but flowers not. And even the Mishnah Berurah says, by contrast, if something is not edible, one may not exert himself for its sake.
Because you can't have its use on Shabbos. Vegetables are meant to be eaten.
Right.
And that use you can't do on Shabbos.
Right.
If we can't add water to it on Shabbos. But flowers, its use is noi, is niceness. So you have its use on Shabbos. So therefore you're allowed to add water. You're not allowed to add water to something that's not usable on Shabbos.
What about putting in water for the first time?
Flowers?
Somebody brings you flowers on Shabbos.
Also, okay, you can make them. There are some machmir, but there's no why. Why the machmir? The outside swara should be there, should be mutter. Because what am I doing? I'm just keeping them. I'm not.
So you can pick up the flowers, and they hand them to you, put them in a vase, and you add water to the vase.
Correct.
Really?
So I'm not everyone says that. But, what?
Not only on Yom Tov.
Yeah.
No, you don't do it on Shabbos.
Shabbos you can do it also.
Yeah, I mean that's a person that are machmir. The question is why they're machmir. But passion should be mutter.
I don't understand why there would be a difference anyways between Shabbos.
Yeah, should be chil Shabbos and Yom Tov. Should be chil Shabbos and Yom Tov.
Adding water to it to
I don't know if sure you could.
right. That's what it was. Adding water to.
I think more of sure you could.
Yeah, it comes up on Yom Tov.
Yeah, with the lulav.
For the lulav, right?
Yeah, with
So
the-
you
yeah.
can add water to
Yeah.
your lulav holder.
So the other person that say only allowed to add, you're allowed to put it fresh into water.
Right.
The person that make it.
But that you can only do on Yom Tov is what they.
No, you
The can say that.
No, on Yom Tov because on Shabbos the lulav is muktzah.
Yeah, if
You can't use it. It's not used in scripture. Yeah, but flowers not that way. Flowers not that way. I'm saying there are places that are machmir, you can't put flowers l'chatchila into water on Shabbos. Someone comes to you with a bouquet of flowers, and I'll put it in a vase and add water to it. Yes, there are places that are machmir, shouldn't do it. But there are places that are makel also. So
We
it's
can
not.
rely on that.
You can rely on them. Yeah. You can rely on them. You have to be careful. One thing you do have to be careful is that if it's something that's still growing from the flowers, then it could be a problem. Sometimes you buy flowers that are closed.
And they
They open
slowly.
up, put the water, makes them open up, then it could be a bigger issue.
Well, pretty much every bouquet that you get has some flowers that are open and some that are
Yeah.
little buds about to open.
Yeah?
It's very common.
Depends on the type of flowers.
Not only that, let's say even if they're open, they get open more.
That's
And
not a
then
problem. Open more is not a problem. Even to open it, that's such a big problem. But to open it a little bit more than it was is not a problem. So you get roses, right? You put them in a vase.
Yeah.
So they open up more. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
So adding sometimes they come with.
With the food. Yeah, the food should be the same thing. Food may be more than it because it looks like you're doing it to make them grow. Even though the food is all is like a sugar pill, you know, it's all a hoax.
Yeah.
Placebo, yeah. It's all a hoax.
Somebody else did first.
Okay. That was Sifid Al. Sifid Beis. Amchata chayerik dak dak. Someone cuts a vegetable dak dak chai mishum toichin. So this is the irregular isser of toichin, cutting it up very small pieces. Haga, for who adin the asalachtech gregoris v'charuvim is figs and bokzo and carrots. The fnei zekanim. But this is a different isser. This is an isser because it can't be eaten that way. The dafka peiros u'chadayim is the asser. Avamut l'far alacha l'fnei atan l'goylis. You're allowed to take bread and make it into crumbs. L'fnei atan l'goylim. The holy kfar nitzcha, since it was already tachon, ein lachosh ein toichin achar toichin. There's no isser of toichin achar toichin. Once something was already ground, and you put it back together again, you're allowed to grind it again. Now this isser of toichin achar toichin, the Ramah says it's not a problem b'chlal. There are some machmirim. I don't think the Mashur brings it down, does he? It doesn't bring it down. L'maisa will mekel toichin achar toichin. If you have challah, you want to make crumbs out of it, it's not a nissa. Then the Ramah says, Chol zeh l'mayri el l'chaytech ha'meniach. Aval, should be aval, no?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, me missing. Aval em la'achlai miyad hakol shari. If you're doing it from miyad, to eat it right away, everything is mutter. Midi dahava abayr lechal miyad the shari. This is the heter of the Ramah from the Rashba. Shuvas the Rashba of Aran. He says that if you're doing it for miyad, you're allowed teichen is mutter. So the same way we're about to boil it for miyad. The same thing, teichen is mutter. You want to cut up your vegetables as small as you want. On Shabbos, according to the Ramah, you have a heter.
So he does. So we do all that.
We don't pass on that. Take it easy. We're not finishing. We didn't finish. We didn't finish. Take it easy. Take it easy. Let's see. A lot of times we don't go to the Ramah. A lot of times the Machal not to the Ramah. Says the Magen Avram, Lechel Miyad. Is mutter Asher Tanagel Lechel Miyad Shar Lachtoich Shlei Aswa LaAdam Lechel Machala B'Chatichas G'dar Zaktanis Im Kein Hava Derech Achilosai B'Kach. It's called Derech Achila, and therefore it is mutter. L'Shulta Geborim Mefakfek Al Heter Zeh. The Shulta Geborim is Mefakfek, meaning see how it's not so true that Heter. The Gamma Rabbi Seif Kosev Lizor Lachtoich L'Chaticha is Gedoyle is K'tzas Ayim Sham. Ayim Sham. The kids in the Magen Avram already says, don't be making like the Ramah. Make sure when you cut up your vegetables, you cut them into chatichos, gedolos, k'tzas. V'yineseinu noagu lachtoich hatznoin tak tak me'oid. V'yesh lehem amishi yismoichu. They have a hut to be soymechat, says the Magen Avram. V'kaponim also last aside the tzitz beis hakneses. You can't do it till you come home from shul. The v'inan samach lesuda mamish. It has to be mamish samach lesuda. So the Ma'aser Beis, the Magen Avram, is not so happy with the Ramah's heter of dak dak, even though Beir will make all for the Suda Miyad, but Teichen, he doesn't like the heter.
Although even the Magen Avram seems to say that if it's right when you write.
He says that Yesh Lehem Amisha Yismoichu. He says that Al Medina they do it, but Yesh Lehem Amisha Yismoichu, they have who to rely on. Because if you would have asked the Magen Avram, should I do it, he would have told you no.
Even right before the...
Even right before, he would have told you no. And if you would have asked him, my neighbor does this, should I say something to him, he would have said no. Don't say anything to him. Because yes, now, Misha Ismaichu. That's what the Magen Avram means. He asked me the halacha is you can't do it. See somebody else doing it? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Don't say anything to him.
Don't eat over his house, though.
No, maybe you could eat in his house. Maybe you could. And if you look in the...
Now, just to clarify, this is talking about dak dak. Does this also include smashing, risuk?
Same thing.
No, or would you say that there's a difference in because it's closer to toichen?
No.
Let's say, would this be also the heter for a banana and avocado?
If you're doing it miyad, you're doing it right away.
Or would you say no? That only applies by a vegetable that is being cut dak dak.
No.
But I'm not willing to go as far.
No, what's very different?
I can see as far why it's different because by risuk of peiros, right? That's much closer to toichen, right?
Risuk of peiros.
Yeah, if you're smashing a peiros.
One second. You're saying now that the heter of miyad, it's not such a bad toichen. Not such a real toichen.
Because when you have a toichen, which is how do we define toichen? There's toichen which is the malacha of toichen is you're making something into a
powder,
whatever, something like that. Then we're going to come and say that you're cutting vegetables into small pieces. We're going to call that toichen also. There's already Rishonim that say that may not be toichen.
Right. So
now you have another smach. You have the Rashba that says if you're doing it miyad, so maybe between those two, between the Rishonim say that you don't have to.
So you're saying the way we'll paskin or what the Rashba meant?
Ultimately both. I mean, I don't know what the Rashba.
The Rashba meant everything. All toichen.
That's all I want to know. He includes everything.
Everything.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe
He's saying had a toichen.
Okay.
The Rashba meant everything.
So everything would fall into this category.
Everything falls in this category, 100%.
So according to the Ramah, going back to the...
According to Ramah, you want to
bananas
smash a
and-
banana
yeah,
to eat miyad? No problem.
According to the Ramah.
No problem.
Now, do you need any shinuyim?
You don't need a shinu. So you may not be able to use Kli HaMeyuchel L'kach, that you can't do.
Right. Because of that reason.
Kli HaMeyuchel L'kach, yeah, Meyuchel L'kach you can't use. You can't use a Machteshes.
Right.
But you want to know if I use
According to this Ramah, and according to this Rashba, comes out even without a sheet, without, forget one...
I want to use the back of a fork. I want to use the back of a fork to smash a banana.
Why
to eat
the
it in
back
the
of the
eye.
fork? Just use the fork.
I meant to whatever, the way you usually do it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's what I meant.
I don't mean the handle.
No, I meant, yeah, it's regular. The way you
Right.
just
Yeah.
smash it, yeah, according to the Ramah, it's mutter. According to the Ramah, it's mutter. According to the Ramah, you want to make an avocado salad, and you want to smash it up, samach l'suda, that'll be mutter.
Okay, so the next time I see somebody, at least I know that this is what they're relying on.
Okay? No. That's what you're doing. You assume that he didn't learn the halacha. Don't assume that he learned to the Ramah and going to the Ramah.
I don't know if that's a tap on the shoulder.
No, you see a guy doing it, you don't assume that he's going to the Ramah. You assume he doesn't know what he's doing. The lesson today, we don't go with that to the Ramah. No, none of the person go with that to the Ramah. The Mishnah doesn't go with it, the Magavil doesn't go with it. No one goes with that to the Ramah. So we're not saying Mechanat.
So we're saying that miyad is not going to be enough.
Correct.
Okay, so miyad is not the heter.
Yeah.
It's not like bara and the story.
Correct.
So then you
Correct.
need the two shinuyim.
Correct. So today we don't go with the Ramah. You won't have
So
the
you need two
heter.
shinuyim.
You need two shinuyim.
Okay, so anything that you can come up with two different
You come up with two shinuyim, yeah.
So if you use the back of
The back of a spoon, that's a question. Is that called two shinuyim to smash a banana or avocado? Very hard to get two shinuyim. That's why people are very machmir on the smashing of avocados and bananas, because you can't get two shinuyim, and therefore we say it stays also.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, if you look in the
Can it be, maybe another shinui is to add it to something that you're smashing already? Like you add avocado to a tuna.
You go with the Ramah.
Tuna is okay because it's not gedulei karka.
right, no, it's not enough of a shinuyim. No.
You're okay.
It's not Shina, that's a Tosefet.
Be creative.
Something this way, do this way, and then...
Yeah, if you look in the Mishnah Berurah over here, he brings down the Magen Avraham, and he also says the Seif Chotin Mem Hey. He brings down the Magen Avraham. It says Vesh Mefakbekin on that. And then if you look all the way, like a couple lines down, it says Va'ayim B'Alacha. So you have to make sure you don't do it. You do it after you come up from shul. Also, if you want to be saying on it, and then it says Va'ayim B'Alacha. The hetish is zocher b'hagah, heinlich is a choytchoy b'sakin. When you're cutting with a knife, avak is a choytchoy b'kli ha'meyuchid l'kach, nira de'osa b'chol gavdik is a choytchoy dak dak, the gabba boire gufa b'kli ha'meyuchid l'brei b'chol gavni chayiv. Uchid l'el b'shin yotetz. L'fizem the stabro, the yes the zoher b'masha nehagim lachtoich b'tzolim dak dak, im dag meluach. Okay, so that you see from you that's not called a heter. V'chiyetza, shalei chatchem b'kli shekeren hakmeser, which is hakmeser was the knife they used for it.
Cleaver, isn't it?
Who?
It's like more like...
Yeah.
Yeah, hakmeser. Yeah.
More.
They're more. They used to have. I remember they used to have like a like a metal knife with like a handle over it, and they use it to. After the chosher kli amichad rak b'saken ba'alma v'gam b'lav yach atzim shmov the zechor v'chanav v'sivyot. So you have to be careful. Even if you're gonna be samech on the heter, don't use a kli hamichad l'kach. Fine. Yeah, okay, fine. So kids, they don't like the heter. And if they don't do it, are people soymich under a law to feed kids bananas? It could be, it may be mitzaref het of the Ramah and a makom adchak, where you have to feed a kid something to eat. You have no way of doing it, and you're doing it miyad. You're doing it right away as you're feeding the child. Yeah, it could be the person that I make them, and they come in this Ramah. Take the back of a spoon and you smash the potatoes, whatever you're giving your child, and also it could be that person that I make it with that. But with that klal, it's not a diet to be made not for bananas, not for avocados, not for potatoes on Shabbos. Okay.
But again, Rebbe said these three things. What about just a small salad and cutting it up?
It has to be dak. Question what dak is.
So outside of dak, you really don't have a problem.
Right. It's not dak, no problem. The question what dak is. I mean, I used to give a hagdara of dak. What it means, I don't know if everybody agrees with me. But I had a few rice, I forgot what they were. I had a few rice. Dak means you cut it up in a way that you don't have to chew it anymore.
That's Shlomo Zalman uses that.
Oh, that's what he uses?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to chew it anymore. Oh, so that's a big heter. Because most salads they cut up, you still have to chew it. You make a pepper salad, you make even Israeli salads. You don't swallow it whole. You have to chew the food still before you eat it. So it's a very big heter. So you make a salad, you don't have to make it so crazy how big the pieces are. You make it small.
Just in the topic of salads, continue. But so obviously washing vegetables, even if it has if you consider solet, dirt on the vegetables.
I was talking about the Hashada, the Moshe holds a lot of washed vegetables. He says you're not allowed to take a vegetable and put it in water. That's what you have to crease it into water because it separates the dirt from the fruit from the vegetable. So that's boiler. The Moshe holds if you put something under a stream of water, it's mutter. It's not called boiler b'chlal. It's called rechitza. You're allowed to wash it off.
And what about if you have a kli miyuchad l'kach? Like if you have they have these kind of things. You put this lettuce in, you turn it around. And
salad spinner.
Spinners, yeah.
So no, that can be much worse. That's boiler. If you put it into the water, it can be much worse.
It's just taking off the water. It's taking off the water.
The spinner takes off the water, not puts the water.
You spin it fast and the lettuce stays in and the water sprays outside to another container.
It's a way of drying the lettuce.
Yeah, but the lettuce is edible. Not cleaning the lettuce.
Yeah.
The lettuce is edible. You can eat it. You don't want the water.
Right.
You're taking out the water. Okay, that's mutter. That's not
You're
boiler.
separating.
If you set the water, you don't want the water. That's the point. I mean,
It's called. It's not called. It's
and
called
even,
drying.
and it's not, even though it's a kli miyuchad, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's not called boiler. I don't think so. Okay, Seif Gimel. Also, Lida is the vashme akiveres. I'll take out honey from the honeycomb. It looks like toilish. Looks like you're pulling something off of something that's attached to the ground. Agava dafkim dvukim akiveres. Avlem nitleshum b'aydiyaim. Aishin esraskum b'aydiyaim. Vadvash saf b'kiveres mutler doise b'shabbos. If the honeycombs are not in the what's it called? What's the kiveres in English? The hive. The hive. If the honeycombs are not attached to the hive and they're loose, then it's definitely not a problem of that looks like toilish and it's mutter. All right, I don't think that's as much negated to us today. Yeah, okay. So that's the halacha. I'll also show how it falls in over here. Fine. Now see if you dial it on is lush, which we'll leave for next time we meet.